Welcome to Tonetalks. Welcome to Tonetalks. Welcome to Tonetalks.
How's everybody doing today? This is attorney Antonio Moore here to have a discussion. It's a follow-up show to my previous show. In the first show, I talked more about the Breakfast Club. I believe that everyone needs to share the hashtag in the Breakfast Club, because I don't believe it needs to be on the air. I believe it has been a detriment to Black politics. These people took their basic hip hop interviews and then allowed soft landing spots for Hillary Clinton, for Kamala Harris, for so many others as well. And they just don't have no business asking political questions to these politicians, for your families, for my family, for any of us. We need people with political science degrees. We need lawyers. We need social scientists. We need people that are heads of unions asking these politicians questions on behalf of me, on behalf of the Black community, on behalf of America. We don't need anyone who got a night school degree in South Carolina, got 1 unit of U.S. history. Shout out to Charlemagne. So let's get right into the discussion today. I want to make sure I have it. And what I'm seeing is there were reports on the Root, on XXL, on Daily Mail, on Rolling Out, that the feds raided iHeart. It's and right now it's coming back that possibly wasn't a raid. It was just they went down there. Okay. Feds raid iHeart Media offices after DJ Envy business associate gets arrested. Cesar Pina got arrested, got $1 million in bond, and when he got out. Feds remove electronic equipment from iHeart Radio offices. This is XXL. Rolling Out reported FBI raids DJ Envy's office. Then the next day, supposedly DJ Envy was working from home, Zoom. All right. So this show is going to look deeper into DJ Envy and to Cesar Pina and ask the question, why did y'all give this man your money? How are these people here? Why can't y'all understand that this is what we've been telling y'all for the last 5 years? When I say we, I'm talking about myself and Yvette Cornell, Breaking Brown. Tony the Closer been on my show a couple times. This is Jermaine Morrison all again. TR. Come on. Now, TMZ purportedly, feds say no raid took place at iHeart Studio. We're told the New Jersey Division of the Drug Enforcement Administration and the FBI all had a part in investigating the case, and officials were at the offices to alert Envy. So they didn't call him. They didn't email him. They went down there to alert him. In the documents, I believe he is individual one, not victim one, individual one. We know the backdrop of how tied in he is with Cesar Pina and how he is mentioned in the documents on the U.S. Attorney website. And we gonna get lost in the sauce and not ask the question, if they didn't raid him, why not? For all the victims. And if they did raid him, they should. We want answers. We can't have these people out here doing seminars, $99. They got the Trap Lord gold chain out. As alleged in the complaint, Pina exploited celebrity status and social media to develop a devoted following of potential victims, promising returns that were too good to be true. Pina allegedly defrauded dozens of people of millions of dollars. Okay, so Pina, DJ Envy. You got Channel 4 News. They covered it. Real estate influencer who held seminars with DJ Envy arrested over alleged scam. But we're going to get caught up on whether they raided or just went down to the office and not ask the question. Pina don't work at that office. Why was they down there to notify Envy? Is he a person of interest, a POI? Again, I'm coming to you not for legal advice, but to break this down with you, explain some of the things going on, and ask the question, how some of y'all missing this? How important this is? I want to talk about 310-388-3499 to call in. I want to hear from you, hear your opinion, and also subscribe and share. I want to hear from you, hear your opinions on this DJ Envy. Again, 310-388-3499. We got DJ Envy from the Breakfast Club. They done set this thing out. And you had Kamala come on, you had Clinton come on, and it elevated the show. And Envy then started doing the real estate classes, and he tied in Cesar Pina. Cesar Pina now got arrested for fraud. You had Daily Mail say that they were raided. You had alternate reports they weren't raided, but they just went down there. But we got these pictures of DJ Envy on this Lamborghini. He at the car show. Always about some luxury. I still hold, like I said in the first show, that y'all should be asking Kamala and Clinton, what are your opinions on this raid? You guys went down to this show, elevated its position. What are your opinions and how do you feel it should be handled? Particularly Kamala, she's a former prosecutor. Should DJ Envy be prosecuted? Can you evaluate this? Can you look into this for the victims that are out there? Oh, she's vice president now. I'm sorry, you went on the show and elevated the show. Some of these victims invested in this show because they saw Kamala and Clinton on this show. They thought that these were high-level people. Make sure y'all get me. Black America should look around at the economics and see that they are placing people in positions of visibility to push a crazed version of generational wealth and community uplift while actually making money from products that are fraudulent and exploitive. So DJ Envy and Charlamagne, who don't know nothing about wealth gap, about the wealth analysis, they really don't understand it based on everything they say to me, are talking about generational wealth and helping the community. But a lot of it looks really questionable. Let's take the first caller. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello? Mike, Chicago.
Give me a take on it.
Basically, he's basically taking some people who can't afford it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's funny that, like, when our community gets taken advantage of, it's only in the millions, but when other communities get advantage of, it's in the billions, like Madoff and stuff like that. So I think that's very telling how wide, like, how much money we actually have.
I agree, and a lot of this, I'm gonna go into it later. I'm gonna go into it later in the show and show how basically most working age Black people don't even have good credit. They don't have no good credit. They ain't gonna get no inheritance, and they got these families that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to actually support. So y'all just here floating. So then what they do is promise you a dream and call it generational wealth. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you say one last thing. I gotta get going.
I'm good. I'm fine. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, man, for starting it off. You're right. We don't have much, and we giving it away. $99, and you can win a chain, is what they said. We'll talk about it. But it can't just be DJ Envy. It has to be DJ Envy and Charlamagne and the Breakfast Club. We got to go back to this. This is an important statement here by Charlamagne. Charlamagne the God says that his controversial meeting with Tomi Lahren, who's from the far right wing, was orchestrated by Viacom executives and regrets his dumb tweet about the incident. He basically said something about Black women need to act like this right wing Tomi Lahren or something to the sort. But then we find out that Viacom told him to do that. And y'all still let him go in and interview and didn't ask no questions why he got to interview Kamala? I want to talk about it because all of it is in question, not just Envy. Envy is the most important part for this moment. But this show is just as important because it's got to go. 310-388-3499. It is this show that anchored Jay Morrison so that Tulsa real estate ran around, got all them 500 till I shut it down. Y'all don't remember it was about to run. And I was like, nah, y'all got to look into this. This don't make no sense. This man's background is sketchy. He got all these crimes in his background. What is this investment? Because I don't see it coming to fruition and making no money for no Black folks. You need that in your refrigerator. You got Earn Your Leisure, the teacher and the basketball player guy running around during the COVID money. And they got all the people on their show and they bringing them on the show, teach all the stuff, Airbnb and Turo and all this stuff. And it is DJ Envy that told us that they from him. You got Cesar Pina, who's now been arrested. He was already guilty and charged and guilty back in, I think, 2006 for credit card fraud. But then y'all gonna give me your money because DJ Envy told you that he's good at real estate. And he said he learned real estate in prison, but they don't teach real estate in prison. Can I talk about it today? Let me take another caller before I show a video. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
What's going on, Mr. Antonio? This is Christian from Fayetteville, North Carolina. How you doing, sir?
I'm all right, Christian. Give me your take.
Yeah, I mean, once again, you know, you right on it, and the fact that you have so many receipts going years back to show that this was the setup from the beginning, whether it was Breakfast Club, whether it was anybody else, talking about the Jay Morrisons and everybody else, you saw it coming a mile away, trying to tell people, and unfortunately, we don't catch on to the end. And this also goes to show that as much as they go through doing these HBCU tours and talking black and wearing Malcolm X hoodies and everything else, these dudes were moving like vultures. And quite frankly, it's like economic cannibalism because the only people that they try and do this stuff to is their own people. They don't go to white communities and get nearly the type of traction that they do with us, which is something that I believe, and shout out to you and Ms. Yvette that put me on to JC Pocket Watcher, who put me on to the phenomenon of affinity fraud, which is really what this is. And that's really the only reason that they get away with it is when they talk like they're revolutionary, and quite frankly, they are the house Negroes that they are showing themselves to be.
Hey man, I want you to stick with me and give your opinion. I'm about to run something, a clip, a video, and I don't want you to leave. It's about 5 minutes. I want you to watch the whole video, and I'm gonna come right to you to get your opinion on what this video says. Let's get it going.
Caesar. There was no Caesar. Caesar wouldn't have the lifeline or life that he had without a DJ. I created Matt. If I wasn't there, if I didn't create Matt, if I didn't have Matt speak, if I didn't put Matt on the Breakfast Club, if I didn't recommend people to Matt, there would be no Matt. Not one. Not a lick. EYL is here because of me. Because of me going on their show. Me putting them on the Breakfast Club. And I don't have a problem with saying it to any of their faces because they know.
JMV, I got my guy Cesar here. Now, it is the coldest day of the year. I'm buying in my business. Cesar called me Envy. I got a great crib to go look at. No, it's too cold.
Grand Slam.
It is too cold. 2 degrees, the coldest day of the year. You see, I got this. I got gloves. I got all types of stuff.
Money got no temperature, Envy.
Money has no temperature. So we're out right now. We're looking at this home in Jersey. It's an amazing flip. It's pretty much done. So if you want more information about real estate, like this flip right here, this one, how much do you think we can make off this flip?
$375,000.
You think we make that much?
Yep, all day. There's nothing to do here. Just put up the TVs and move in.
All right, well, maybe it was worth it. If you want to learn more about real estate.
And I met Cesar.
That's Cesar.
Cesar is flipping NJ, is my partner in New
Right.
Jersey. He owns over 1,600 units in New Jersey and all throughout the country.
Cesar was in prison before.
Cesar was in prison. Cesar was locked up, and he learned how to do real estate in prison.
Wow.
He learned how to do it. So with Cesar, he taught me how to do it the right way. He taught me, why he was like, his first thing is, why are you using your money? I said, what you mean? He said, you don't use your money. You use other people's money to get these deals. And started teaching me the game of how to do it without using minimal money. And that's what I've been trying to teach people. When I first got into real estate, I called 3 people. I called Clue. I called Fabulous. I called Joe Budden. Right? My Desert Storm family. And I said, hey guys, I'm doing real estate. This is something that I think that, you should invest a little bit of money in, try it out, and that way you can do it. Joe Budden told me it was a Ponzi scheme and I was going to go to jail. Fab was like, I'll call you back. And Clue was like, nah, it's not for me. But I tried to teach them how to do it because I wanted my brothers to eat.
Flipping NJ. Today, Pro Style came. This is your first time picking up rent, right?
First time picking up these joints, so we don't want to see the names on the checks, but yeah.
First time picking up rent, and that's what it's all about. When I tell you about creating generational wealth, that's what it is. I picked up, this is some of my rent. He owes me some more. His rent is picked up.
Just getting started, baby.
And that's what it's about. Pro Style jumped into the game. How many houses you bought?
3. About to hopefully close on the 4th one, right?
This guy's trying to get more houses than me. He's going to start speaking at the seminar.
We're going to be at like 12, 16 units real soon. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it's about, teaching and learning how to do it. And that's what we about, man. So I want to see you guys at the next seminar, February 23rd in Las Vegas. If you're on the West Coast, I want to see you there. It's at the Golden Nugget.
What up, y'all? It's DJ Envy.
Flippin' NJ.
We want to see you guys September 26th in Atlantic City. Now, if you don't know, I own over 200 units. Cesar owns over 1,600 units. And we're going to be breaking down how we make money. So we're going to start with credit, financing, hard money lending, how we find the deals, wholesaling.
Auction.com. The city of Atlantic City is going to be there, courtesy of Marty Smalls. They're going to give us the list for city-owned properties. We're going to talk about, which we haven't done before, a little bit of Airbnb, that business that we're not into, but we'll have somebody there that could, guide people how to be successful in it. Pretty much everything in the world you can think about when it comes to real estate will be there that day.
And not only that, we're going to be giving one lucky person one of these chains. Now, these chains are serious. Whoever we give this chain to in our camp or our friends, they own properties and they invest. So we're going to be giving one lucky person one of these chains, courtesy of Tajia Diamonds. So we're going to be giving a chain, Pooch the jeweler. So we want to see you guys. Tickets are just $99 right now. So get your tickets. We want to see you there September 26th, all right? Can't wait to meet you guys. And hopefully you guys will be owning a bunch of real estate, creating generational wealth. So we'll see you on September 26th.
And that's a crazy investment when you think about it, right? We're all about the home runs, grand slams. For $100 a ticket, you have a chance of making $10,000 that day. Pretty much that's what we're worth, right? Between them.
This was a 3-family, 2-bedroom. We could only put $800 rent roll each floor, which is not that much money. If we decided to extend it, if you go back here, you see we extended it. Now with the extension, we decided to make it from a 2-bedroom to a 4-bedroom. So now from 800, it goes to 1,800 a month. 18. We extended it so much, we have so much that we can extend it, we can actually put 2 studios in the back. So now the 2 studios will bring, you figure 18 is 246.
So, you there, Christian? I want you to give me your take on it.
Yes, sir. I mean, this is beyond sickening. It's not even something that it's like, oh, it's a shame or oh, that's dishonest. This is sickening. The fact that there aren't, we know why there aren't, but the fact that there aren't people outside of that radio station right now, the fact that there aren't riots around where this dude is right now is insane to me. This dude needs to be in prison because what they're not going to show is the amount of families and lives that he ruined behind all of this executive bail stuff that he put up before so many people. And I haven't necessarily dealt with this exact same case, but I've had a family member that tried to do this exact same thing to me, and almost had me wrapped up in some stuff that would have definitely jacked my credit up and everything else. This stuff is not a game, and we need to start the same amount of praise that you wanted for saying that you made Cesar and made him a success, and let's just say it popped off, and let's say Jay Morrison popped off and everything looks great. They need to take the same accountability when it goes sideways, because these dudes are not leaders. They're not. These dudes have the spines of slugs, and it's disgusting to see that they want to say that they represent our community. Charlamagne wants to represent the black community, and these dudes have no spines whatsoever. They have no integrity in them whatsoever. And it's time, and you and Miss Yvette have led the way. It's time to start bringing the smoke to their front doorstep.
Now, I'm not advocating no violence. I'm going to let you go, Christian, because you always start off.
Absolutely not.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to hang up. I'm sorry, Christian. Yeah, I don't think you are as well. I'm just making that clear. But that was a great call. Great call. 310-388-3499. The phone lines are filling up. I'm going to come back and forth to them. We have NBC4 News that reported on this thing. Ponzi-like scheme defrauded millions of dollars. Again, somehow now DJ Envy saying it wasn't him, but they partners. They was partners, but it wasn't him. But we wouldn't even know him without DJ Envy and the Breakfast Club. And he admits that, and he says there will be no Cesar without me. But then now we're not one. Cesar Humberto Pina, a local social media influencer and real estate investor, is charged with wire fraud and a Ponzi-like scheme that duped dozens of investors. A New Jersey real estate investor and online personality, Cesar Humberto Pina, 45 of Franklin Lakes, was arrested on charges of running a multi-million-dollar Ponzi-like investment fraud scheme, as announced by the U.S. Attorney Philip Selinger. Starting in 2017, Pina leveraged his substantial social media following and a partnership with well-known disc jockey, meaning DJ Envy, to conduct real estate seminars across the U.S. He allegedly promised exorbitant returns on investments ranging from 20 to 45% within a span of 5 months. I explained in the last video You know, that's like somebody saying they're gonna give you money, basically. As alleged, those kind of returns in that short span. As alleged in the complaint, Pina exploited celebrity status and social media to develop a devoted following of potential victims, promising returns that were too good to be true. Pina allegedly defrauded dozens of people of millions of dollars. U.S. Attorney Selinger. The rest came as a result of an extensive investigation by multiple federal agencies, including the FBI, IRS, and U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of New Jersey. We allege Pina offered a ridiculously high rate of return to investors, then took the millions and invested it in himself. So the seminars were probably offering much the same. Pina faces a maximum of 20 years in prison. It should be noted the charges and allegations are currently accusations, and Cesar Humberto's opinion is presumed innocent until proven guilty. But a lot of people are sharing this book, but not really looking at the title or the fact that it's a book. I didn't buy the book, but here are some of the sections that are for free on Amazon, and he called it Flipping Keys. In the chat, how many people know what Flipping Keys refers to? This guy that's supposed to be out of prison for credit card fraud has a book out, Flipping Keys, and we're going to give money to him, and we're going to try to act like there's no problems here. Flipping Keys refers to a kilo of cocaine. So like Freeway Rick, the documentary that I did, you have him selling the keys, and that's called flipping the kilo. So you get the kilo from the Nicaraguans and you flip it for a profit. He called his book Flipping Keys. He lived in the backdrop of Freeway Rick and others' lives as a shadow character that mimicked and created his identity out of hip hop in the 90s. I was born at Roosevelt Hospital. He put all this out in the public. You can go to Amazon. It's part of the book, the free part that's out. This is Cesar Pina, the individual associated with DJ Envy. This man here. Come on. Just to be clear, this man that is in all the videos, I just want to make sure I'm talking about. As soon as kindergarten ended, I want you to understand this because nobody has explained this part to you. Again, me and Yvette are creating the concept of ADOS for a reason. The first part is disaggregation because we need data. We need data on the subgroups as they deserve it as well. Jamaicans deserve to know how they vote. Haitians deserve to know, are they highly conservative down there in Florida or not? We deserve to be split out and see our own numbers, both economically and politically. But also there's the other side where we're not the same as people that came here like for 10 years or 12 years from small developing countries. We are a whole different group that likely many of you will never leave the country. And if you do, it's for a short vacation because you are American, as was your mama, as was your grandmama, as was your great granddaddy, as was everybody in your family that you know. But you African American ain't never been to Africa and will never go. But this man here gets casted with us, but he calls himself Hispanic. Hold on. He gets into our doorway as a black person, but he calls himself Hispanic in his own book. I want to talk today because everybody needs to understand what I'm saying today. Thank you so much for the donation, JT. The Breakfast Club platforms like it act as gatekeepers, selling access to their audience. They interview pandering politicians and fake gurus. It looks like payola and propaganda. Man, shout out. JT, call in if you can. 310-388-3499. Just 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Give your opinion. But let me read this thing. I was born at Roosevelt Hospital, Manhattan, New York, June 4th, 78. At that time, we lived in Washington Heights. As soon as kindergarten ended, my parents decided to send me to live in Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic with my grandparents. I stayed with them during the school year and then spent the summer back at home in New York with my parents. I did that until I was in the 5th grade. Before moving back for good with my parents, I was just 10 years old. Hold on, that ain't really written well. My grandfather, Ito, and my grandmother, Ita, took really good care of me. This is the gentleman you have to know who and what you're dealing with. Those were the nicknames for them. I couldn't say the words abuela or abuelita, meaning grandma or grandpa. So Ito and Ita, they became. I had a really awesome childhood. What level of writing is this? What is this man talking about? Because it ain't ADOS, our story. I don't remember getting on no plane or no boat going to Santo Domingo. My grandparents always made sure that I felt loved. Out of all their grandchildren, it's been said that I was always their favorite. Ain't this some egotistical stuff? Looking back now as an adult, I am really happy and fortunate that I got to spend the little time that I did with them when I was a kid. In fact, it was probably the one real time that I was able to enjoy the years of my youth. On September 4th, 89, I moved back home to New York with my parents. Okay, so he's born, so that's 11 years of your life. You in Santo Domingo, back and forth. I want you to understand this. I'm not going to read the whole section. You can go buy the book or read the book or whatever, but listen to this. It was one of my favorite days of the week. My parents always made sure that we dressed up when we went out together. Everything was picture perfect. We were the ideal Hispanic American family, but we all a community. This is why ADOS is important. Y'all playing games. We doing the real. Flipping keys. So now he back with us when the fraud happened. He come through the doorway with the Breakfast Club, DJ Envy. I want to talk. But when we look back at his history, Tony the Closer posted this. In 2003, the USA charged him with credit card fraud after cooperating with the government. Now, this is all purportedly on my end, but I know that there's documentation to support this. You can go to this link and click it. On December 20, 2004, a reduced sentence was granted. 16 months imprisonment, 3 years supervised release, $71,200 restitution. Cesar's cooperation made a difference. Meaning the guy who in 2017, 2018, DJ Envy brings on the Breakfast Club to push products to a primarily Black and primarily really ADOS audience. Can we talk? Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello.
What's your name? Where you calling from?
I'm calling from Wisconsin, and my name is Mia.
Give me your take on it.
Oh, where to start? One, it's a shame that they would be even able to do this whole scam again after all the Jay Morrison stuff them came out. To see people still falling for the same thing is just really sad. The other thing that I was really shocked by is, like you said, DJ Envy comes in and presents himself as, Black American Adolf. And
I think Envy, let me say this, Envy, I'm not sure. I think he is. I'm talking about Cesar Pina. I know he isn't. He's Hispanic. Go ahead.
Okay. So hold on. So am I wrong on that? So DJ Envy is?
I think he's either half or something of the sort. But Cesar Pina is what I was reading was about the actual associate. See, they all make themselves look like this light-skinned Black man. They get the haircut short and everything. No, this guy is Dominican. Now, that's some form of Black that they want to say, but they definitely not ADOS. But he's selling product to ADOS as a community kind of thing, and he has an orientation coming from and living in living in Domingo. Living there.
Exactly.
We don't know nothing about how to protect ourselves from the stuff he's talking about. He said right here, he lived in Dominican Republic. Can we talk about it? Go ahead.
It's conveniently ADOS when it's time to make money. When it's time to target a community to make money,
come on.
That is when they play up that they're part of the ADOS community and they understand and they know they are part of it and we need to help each other out. And then they come in with these scams. And I just wish we really stopped falling for it. We see through it. I wish that we stopped inviting everybody to the barbecue because they cut their hair low and, put on a hoodie and a jogging suit and pretend, to be ADOS, So it's hard to see and it's tiring to see, especially when we just got done with Jay Morgan.
Well, let me say this about Envy. It says he's Dominican, French, and Caribbean. So we got two. This is who you're dealing with, and you want to know why we want to do ADOS. I'm not saying an ADOS person can't take advantage of you, because I think Jay Morrison is. It's just we never make people actually say, where are you coming from? What is your background? What have been your experiences? What did you see in your home country? Should you bring that into our community? Period. Go ahead.
Right, right. And it's just, and they're not questioned, and they're able to just come into the community and sell whatever they want to, I guess, create generational wealth. But it seems like they forget about their own community, because there's Dominicans here that are struggling as poor. They're not bringing it to them. They're bringing it to our community to sell and scam.
Come on.
And it's hard to see. They're not questioned when they do it. So it's just hard to see.
And also it makes it look like we doing it. So when it's time to actually, when it's time to actually paint the paint, so it's like black people are doing the fraud. No, he said he's a Hispanic family. That's what raised him. He said it in his book. He said it right here. So everybody don't think that I'm being xenophobic. I want everybody to understand. He said right here, my parents, everything was picture perfect. We were the ideal Hispanic American family. So this is Hispanics taking advantage of Adolf's people. That's just what this is.
Yes. Yes. But the way they would like it to look is like it's just happening within our own tribe, within our own community, and it's not. And it says to see, and it says to see that it's promoted. And then just his cockiness, while he was promoting it, he pretty much said, yeah, why use my money? You know, when I can use other people's money. So pretty much telling us, yeah, I'm going to take from you to help me build, and I'm putting this in quotations, generational wealth off your money, and you're not going to see any benefits from it. So it's just hard to see, and pretty much in their ads, in their posts, they tell on themselves, but we ignore it for some reason. We overlook it for some reason.
Now let me say one thing. To be fair, somebody in the chat, because I don't know all the victims, said some of the victims are Dominican as well. Just to be fair, so I just think overall, I don't want nobody victimized, but I do think some of this slum living stuff is not really part of what we experience, and we don't have the repertoire to even deal with it. And I just know at the end of the day, this man ain't Adolf. Let me let you go. I'm gonna keep going. You fired us up today. Thank you. The interesting part about him having that credit card fraud, I don't know if he can get a license. I know like he would have a problem in California. I believe it's a problem in many states because there's certain morality you have to have exemplified. What disqualifies you from getting a real estate license in California? The general rule is that the DRE cannot deny you a real estate license if you do not have a conviction within 7 years. Of course, it's further back than that, before the date of your application. However, if there's a conviction that's substantially related to the duties of a broker, then the department can disapprove licensure. And I would think credit card fraud is definitely that type of conviction. So was he using his own license? Somebody else's? I want to know all them facts. I want to know what made DJ Envy believe in this man that did credit card fraud and had to pay somebody $72,000 that learned real estate in prison when they don't teach it in prison. I know that from an interview I watched, he learned it from another guy that was in prison. Wasn't no class. So don't bring up, and I'm gonna talk later about people. Well, they get PhDs in prison. A handful of people across this nation have a PhD from prison. Handful. He didn't learn it in no class in prison. And I'm going to talk to you in a second about what prison should signal because of what happens in there. But I'm going to say to you this. There's no way in the world that DJ Envy should have allowed this man on that Breakfast Club to sell that nonsense, that craze to black folk. I want to talk today. I want to get to it. I need to have the concept. I need us to get to the concept. And we know DJ Envy is deeply tied with him because he did podcasts with him. He's going to do a reality show with 50 Cent with him, but now he don't know who he is. I didn't have nothing to do with it. You've probably heard of Breakfast Club, the morning radio show in over 90 markets that covers everything from hip-hop culture to celebrity gossip to politics and more. And if you've listened, you may recognize DJ Envy's voice. Again, this is a Bigger Pockets real estate podcast involving the host, DJ Envy and Cesar Pina together. Cesar was serving time in prison when he first learned about real estate investing. Once he was released, he decided to jump in. He bought single-family homes, then small multi-family homes. Cesar and Envy became an unstoppable duo. They got the flyers with both their face on it. They got the flyers with their face on it. We are ending our Start to Flip tour. Start to Flip. We are sharing our knowledge and industry secrets in real estate. If you're an investor, first-time home buyer, or interested in how to make money in real estate, you cannot miss our seminar. Get tickets, and the tickets aren't free, as I understand. Many times they're $99, $100, and they offer you a chain, like in the video, and the chain is $10,000. So you really gambling. So, can we talk? The biggest and most obvious red flag with that DJ MB flipping NJ stuff was all that fake for my people community altruism talk. That's all he kept talking about. But then he showed the rent checks, people's actual lives in his hand, and he got no regard. He has no understanding that you're trying to talk about people buying homes that might not have the credit to buy a car. Talk about it. So that's 44%. What am I saying? 44. In the U.S., among young home buyers under 35, 23% used a cash gift from family members and 21% used inheritance for their down payment per Redfin. This is less than a few days ago. So if you add that up, that's 44% if I'm counting correctly. Then likely another 30% moved home to save rent free and got college paid off and their car note paid. That's 80, 75, 80%. That ain't the people going to the seminar. Putting this in perspective, nearly no working age ADOS Black American families can buy a home unless they inherit hundreds of thousands of dollars. Americans now need $114,000 in annual income to afford the typical home in the U.S. This is up a massive 90% from $60,000 a year of income required to buy a house in 2020. Look at this. More than 50% of white households had a FICO above 700, compared with 21% of Black households. And I bet you of that 21%, if it was 100%, 80 to 90% is boomers, retirees. You might have a situation where only 10 or 15% of Black folks that are working age, meaning between the ages of about 20 and 55, have above a 700 FICO. And we talking about buying homes. And you ain't got to believe me, this is TransUnion. I just want to talk about it to frame it, because that's when you get to the class, everybody in there, you should have to write your FICO down. Let us know that so we can know if we should even let you pay your 99. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Alfonso McGriffin, calling from Hartford, Connecticut.
What's your take on it?
A lot of people are missing the part with Angela Yee when she brought on Jay Morrison.
Come on.
Jay Morrison was Angela Yee. That was her personal friend.
It was her realtor. She said, I thought on the show too. Go ahead.
Yeah. But they had no problem reminding her that he was her friend after it came out that he was a scammer. Mm-hmm. So even though this thing came out with Jay Morrison, the stuff with DJ Envy still happened after that.
Well, we gotta come back to where we're at now. I keep telling y'all, it may be a point now where we're a harvest group, and not just a harvest group in the terms of ADOS and immigration and how politics actually eats us whole, but internally, whether it be your grandma or the Breakfast Club, you here to get run over. If somebody is saying, come on over here, they probably gonna tell you some bullshit. I'm just telling you, we may be at that point. If you have a 640 FICO and somebody trying to get you to buy a piece of a house, a fractional home like Will Smith or Kevin Durant, you got to start asking, am I an investment level person in a society that has run me over? And nobody want to tell you that but me and Yvette. Go ahead.
Well, you're absolutely right as it relates to that point. Everyone is interested in the Black community and coming as helpers for the Black community and the major people who are ripping off the Black community. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Come on, man. Come on. And what I'm saying is you're absolutely right. I was the first to really bring Jay Morrison that hammer. He was going to run. I cut them feet out. I put them grease balls under his feet. You ain't running on the Black folk. You better go take that over there somewhere else. And so I totally agree with you. And the way that they flipped it, and all of it's the same, but you have to begin to ask. If we know from the Federal Reserve chart that we've talked about that Black folks ain't in no business, why these people keep trying to sell us business? Businessless business. Can we talk today? Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, hello, my name is Tyson from Miami, Florida, and I feel like this is where DJing get messed up. When the last one we used before the best did a raid, did a raid on them, he did a conference with a Breakfast Club. They told him to not talk about this situation. The minute he did is when he started putting his foot in his mouth, which led to the day. If he didn't say nothing,
Yeah,
he
no.
would have had more time.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you go. I can understand what you're saying. I just think this is so convoluted. This is over multiple years. This is many shows. This is a deep-seated partnership. They was gonna do a reality show. He could have said nothing or not everything. I'm not saying that didn't hurt. It didn't help. But at the end of the day, he didn't put a foot in his mouth. His foot was already in there, and was his kneecaps and his elbow. Everything was in his mouth already. You out here selling these black folks and others, but primarily Adolph's black folks, this dream. The reason why I say that to you, young man, is when we look at the U.S. Attorney's website, there's an important word that jumps out. Now, everything is from their website except this red, which says they. If they're charging one man, why don't they use the word he? I know they're not talking about the bank that received the money, because they ain't really Chase or Bank of America, whatever bank he used. They used the word they. Where did they use it, Tone? They're charging one man, right? Cesar Pina. Pina allegedly. Well, you would say he, Cesar Humberto Pina. Plain and simple, the defendant ran a fraudulent scheme. They falsely represented the nature of their business and lied about potential investment returns to bilk unsuspecting victims out of millions. I need everybody to understand what we're looking at. We are looking at possibly one of the worst perpetuations of fraud against a black community that followed the show, because Kamala came on and Hillary came on, and Kamala was running from ADOS because we have put that pressure on to ask why this woman who's half Indian and half Jamaican is able to run as an African American when she's not African American. So she gonna go to Charlemagne, who dropped out of high school and who got 1 unit of U.S. history, and he don't know to ask her that question, and he's not going to, because Viacom told him that he got to be friends with Tommy Lawrence. So what else they told him? Come on. I need you to see what happened here and how big this goes. Let's watch this again, because we need to.
I created Cesar. There was no Cesar. Cesar wouldn't have the lifeline or life that he had without a DJM. I created Matt. If I wasn't there, if I didn't create Matt, if I didn't have Matt speak, if I didn't put Matt on the Breakfast Club, if I didn't recommend people to Matt, there would be no Matt. Not one. Not a lick. EYL is here because of me. Because of me going on their show. Me putting them on the Breakfast Club. And I don't have a problem saying it to any of their faces because they know.
JMV, I got my guy Cesar here. Now, it is the coldest day of the year. I'm minding my business. Cesar called me Envy. I got a great crib to go look at. No, it's too cold.
Grand Slam.
It is too cold. 2 degrees, the coldest day of the year. You see, I got this. I got gloves. I got all types of stuff.
Money got no temperature, Andy.
Money has no temperature. So we're out right now. We're looking at this home in Jersey. It's an amazing flip. It's pretty much done. So if you want more information about real estate, like this flip right here, this one, how much do you think we can make up this flip?
$375,000.
You think we make that much?
Yeah.
All day.
We don't have no discernment.
There's nothing to do here.
Nobody else
Put up the TVs
money
and move in.
All right, well, maybe it was worth it. If you want to learn more about real estate.
And I met Cesar.
That's Cesar.
Cesar is Flipping NJ, is my partner in New Jersey. He owns over 1,600 units in New Jersey and all throughout the country.
Cesar was in prison before.
Cesar was in prison. Cesar was locked up, and he learned how to do real estate in prison.
Wow.
Learned how to do it. So with Cesar, he taught me how to do it the right way. He taught me, why he was like, his first thing is, why are you using your money? That's what you mean. He said, you don't use your money. You use other people's money to get these deals. And started teaching me.
So when we look at this thing, it says they. All the videos have him and Cesar. They haven't said, but they did mention individual one, the radio host, the U.S. attorney. All I'm gonna say is this: DJ Envy drama is not gonna be the end. A lot of scammers will be exposed in the next couple of years. Stop comparing your life to people on social media. People are not making an honest living. Except that's not what he was doing. His buddy was promising 40% returns for people to invest in property he didn't even own. And I don't believe he was applying to her, he's applying to somebody else in another thread. Then using new investors' money to pay back the old investors and using Envy's fame to lure people into the scam. Cesar Pina, a frequent on DJ Envy's The Breakfast Club, arrested for real estate Ponzi scheme. Cesar Pina and his business partner, a well-known disc jockey and radio personality, operated a company that conducted real estate seminars around the country and bought properties. A source familiar with the investigation told NBC4 that federal agents visited iHeartRadio offices and seized electronic equipment. This is USA Today. So now USA Today is saying what Daily Mail said, what The Root said, and then TMZ is saying that they didn't take properties, but they visited. But Cesar don't work there. This man do. So they went down there to see him. And maybe if he was a victim, they just could have emailed him or phone called him because he's at work and they don't want to disrupt his work. But they visited his work. So you put it where you need to. DJ Envy's attorney, Massimo D'Angelo, denied such claims. Envy partnered with Pena to teach on generational wealth and home buying to uplift the community. I did these seminars and brought industry professionals to all these seminars. Now, Cesar, if he took money, I wasn't privy to it, nor did I even know. I created Cesar, is what he told us in the video. But I want to have the discussion. Pena and his business card, well-known disc jockey and radio personality, individual one, operated a company. This is directly from the U.S. Attorney's document that conducted real estate seminars around the country. Together, they used individual one celebrities to promote various real estate enterprises that Pena controlled. According to Yahoo News, Envy's wife, Gia Casey, reportedly removed some of her social media posts featuring the numerous luxury designer items that Envy buys her in a year. Envy is known for gifting his wife with presents for each of the 12 days. Must be nice. Can I talk? They ain't friends no more, y'all. So according to Tony the Closer, they not following each other on IG no more. Wait, was DJ Envy part of a Ponzi scheme? I need to explain this thing because everybody's unclear. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Yes, sir. This is Jason Thornton Parker watching with JT from St. Louis, Missouri. What's going on, though?
What up, JT? I got JT in the building. He about to give his take. JT, I got a Vulture article. I'm gonna read it after you because I want you to give you. It says, "Was DJ Envy part of a Ponzi scheme?" What you think?
I think absolutely he was a part of the Ponzi scheme. I feel as if a man who claims an expertise in real estate for the many years that he claimed to be an expert in real estate would be a blind fool to not realize what was going on with his business partner, who he claimed was his business partner, a man who he introduced to countless people through his platform. There's no way in my mind that he did not know what was going on. You can see the various tours that he was given, walking people around different properties. Even when he was on the live with Tony the Closer Robinson, talking about how he hit a bunch of licks with his business partner, how he made a bunch of money with his business partner. Sometimes it's a matter of months. It would be really irresponsible for him to now claim, oh, he had no idea what his business partner was doing. But I really want to reach out and say thank you for covering this story, because you are really pointing to how this particular platform, the Breakfast Club, and other platforms like it, they're really taking the aspirations of our community, of our people. They take the aspirations for our political freedom, for our financial freedom, and they're acting as gatekeepers for weak politicians who will pander to us, and they throw them softball questions, and they give them the opportunity to act as some sort of saviors, and then they can sell themselves to the highest bidder when it comes to these state gurus, where many of them are actual felons, actual criminals, people who would not even be allowed in the front pass a background check. That's a problem.
JT, I don't want you to leave yet because I was going to read this article. I'm going to have to come back to it because I have a young lady who spoke to that. We're not going to deal with, oh, you know what, JT? I'm going to use you for numbers because you're the numbers, man. But did you see the chain? I'm going to have talk to you about two different things. The chain. So basically, they got the video, and I showed it, and like it's a $99 class, but to get people to go, they show a $10,000 trap landlord chain. What do you think about this?
Yes. This is right out of the playbook of playing to that audience. This is some Welcome to Death Row, Rockefeller Records, G-Unit spinner chain mindset of these gaudy-looking jewelry is really a source of real material wealth. They understand who their audience is, how to play on them, and how to pull them into the grip.
Can I show you one other thing, JT? Because I got one last thing I want to show you, but watch this. Cesar had the chain on at one point. So I can't even find it right now. But Cesar had the chain on driving. So they must have put that right back in the box. That ain't even new. It got chips on it. So I seen a video, literally, he driving down the street and he doing it live, and that same chain on him. Now they can make another one, but I don't think so. Now the other thing I'm gonna say to you before I let you go is I saw this video and somebody put it up. It's a TikTok, and I'm gonna go through it with you because you the numbers man, and it don't make no sense. What I'm gonna make people pay attention to is he starts off real fast and says 3 families. So let me play that clip. It's 1 minute long, and then we gonna talk about it together because that is perfect that you called in. Here we go.
Every day is the right time to get into real estate, right? Here's a perfect example. Last year, you 3 family, 500,000. Interest rate was 3%. Rent back then was $4,500. Mortgage was $3,340. Your rent minus your mortgage, you made $1,160 every month. $13,000 a year.
Nice.
2022, house value, same thing, $500,000. Rates now are 6%. Oh my God, they're 6%. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna show you. You actually make more money. Rent now is $6,500. Rents are through the roof. The mortgage is $4,204. Your rents minus your mortgage, you make $2,296 a month, $27,000 a year. You actually make more money with higher rates right now, just because rents are through the roof. Rents don't go backwards. Real estate waits for nobody. What are you waiting for?
Okay, so let me show this to you, JT, and I'm gonna come right to you. The slick move was to say 3 families real fast, because if you look, I pulled it up. And the median rent in New Jersey, that's what he be selling. It was $2,200 in 2022 March. It was $2,370 in 2023 March. Just to use that as an example. I know he was 21, 22, but the slick part, there was watch this. It's the word 3 families. How fast he says that. So if we're talking about $500,000, we're talking about a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. If we're talking about, listen to this, Jason. If we're talking about rent of $6,500, I just gave you the numbers. We're talking about 3 apartments with 2 bedrooms and 1 bath. So let's just say it's a father and a mother and 2 children. So they 4 people in an apartment, and you can have 3 of those. What he's saying is that he's going to put all 3 of them in this house. So, and saying that's the same thing as the 3 apartments. Did that make any sense? So 12 people in the house, 12 people in a house with 3 bedrooms and 2 baths. And he's saying you saving money or something. You see it?
It's what it accounts to is they want to replace the slumlord from the other community and say, well, you can be a better slumlord. Why don't you replace that mentality of cramming a bunch of people in one home? That's not going to happen. And then for him to say, oh, rates going up is good for the landlord, that is incorrect. Those rates going up is absolutely going to eat into your profit. You can't just pump up the rate and the rental income like that. When it comes to the carrying costs, when it comes to taxes, insurance, all of these things that pop fodder financially if this was actually ever going to be a reality. But I think it was just another tool to make real estate seem as if a can't miss opportunity to build wealth to funnel them into a pond.
I agree, and I'm gonna let you go, but I mean, I'm just making it simple for everybody. He's comparing in that TikTok 3 families in a 3 bedroom, 2 bath house all together, living together in one house with one kitchen, to 3 families living in 3 separate different apartments. Where they do that, JT? I'm gonna let you go. Thank you. Woo,
All right,
JT.
thank you.
Thank you for coming through and gracing us with your presence. I asked you to call in and you called in. And I think for a lot of us, we don't see nothing wrong with this trap landlord chain. We want one. Too many of us. We don't see nothing wrong with 50 Cent doing a reality show with these people. But the same guy that was going to do a reality show with Cesar now don't know nothing about what Cesar don't know nothing. Will 50 Cent reality show starring DJ Envy and Cesar Pina ever be released? Adultery, deception, and a hip hop legends reality show. What's next for DJ Envy? Cesar Pina has made millions of dollars as a real estate investment influencer through his accomplishments and connections with DJ Envy. The pair teamed up with hip hop legend and now TV film mogul 50 Cent to make a reality TV show about their real estate business. In a posting in September 2020 on the iHeart website, the parent company of the Breakfast Club, the message confirms the collaboration. Step aside, Terrence Howard. Cesar Pina, real estate empire is about to hit the airwaves. 2020. Oh, Lord. Was DJ Envy part of a Ponzi scheme? What was the scheme? Prosecutors claim the beginning in 2017, Cesar Pina began taking investments to renovate and resell properties in New Jersey and elsewhere, promising a 20 to 45% return on investments in 5 months. But Pina allegedly siphoned some investments for his personal use and used new investments to pay back old investors. Days before Pina was charged, NBC4 New York reported on multiple investors who hadn't received promised payments from the project. Pina reportedly sought investments in properties he didn't own, scammed multiple investors into paying for the same properties, and in one case, offered to pay an investor back in jewelry. Pina and his wife, Jennifer, are now facing at least 20 lawsuits. Okay, Vulture says him and his wife. Prosecutors claim Pina built credibility by holding real estate seminars with DJ Envy before he began the alleged flipping scheme. Envy often promoted the project on the Breakfast Club, claiming they've helped so many people. And many of the spurned investors who spoke to NBC4 said they got involved of the project because of Envy's cosign. I need us to see it because I think we're missing it. I think a lot of y'all not seeing it. Cesar is my partner. He learned how to do real estate in prison. His first thing is, why are you using your own money? You don't use your money. You use other people's money to get these deals. I played that video for you. But some people seem confused. There is a discernment issue here in this community. And that's showing up here. Now, I've written on mass incarceration probably more than anybody you know. I wrote on it. If you go look up mass incarceration on Wikipedia, my article is going to come up. Articles I wrote back in 2018, 2017. So I'm not saying this point to denigrate people that went to prison, but I'm going to get real with you right now. How about it? Y'all on this YouTube space, following all these dropouts. A lot of people that drop out of high school can't get no job. So let's be real. So they don't have a high school diploma. So what they do is they come on YouTube, make themselves a personality, and then they can try to get more salary than a goddamn black anesthesiologist. And then they can ask you for money, but we don't even understand. I'm gonna come to prison in a second. That when you look at the numbers, on average, high school dropout rates in the Northeast were lower. This is high school dropout rates by state. It's like 5 or 6%. So the small percent of blacks, maybe 5 to 10% that are high school, are all on YouTube doing classes and starting shows. Ain't that a thing? And y'all just watching them talk about all kind of stuff that they hardly understand. And you think your children going to college, let alone becoming a goddamn anesthesiologist or a lawyer. You ain't got no self-value. How they gonna have it? I want to get to it today. But let's get over to incarceration. So this is a big moment for black folks because I think there's a discernment issue here. And people are confusing having some kind of empathy for people incarcerated with not understanding what incarceration means in America en masse. I don't like that DJ Envy saying Cesar learning real estate in prison is being taken as the indicator of them scamming. Please get PhDs in prison. People get PhDs in, not people, a handful of people. Not people. It's not like a prison isn't like UCLA, like you go there for a PhD. So don't say it that way. People get PhDs in prison. Google recruits from the prisons. We awarded a scholarship to a formerly incarcerated woman. All right. The reason why I think this is important is I think this is like a peg leg of discernment. So what we've done in this group, this is just my view, everybody's gonna have their own, is the only place that we have ultra high discernment, we're gonna evaluate everything to almost a fault because no one fits that actual criteria, is intimate partner, female to male. So not male to female, female to male. So we need a certain job and a certain income, and we need these parents, and we need to be on this track, and we need to have these goals. But when it come time to evaluate who's gonna give us our mortgage, we're gonna say we can get a PhD in prison. We building a peg leg race. I want to talk. She want to have a strong leg with her dating, but then want us to buy our mortgages from a dude who did credit card fraud. I will say that the lore of the street dude turned legitimate business tycoon runs deep because of both true crime and hip hop. We just talking. Let me make this shit real. I got time for this. Now I understand she got her master's in public health, but I don't know if they telling you this, because if they tell you this, then you wouldn't have said that. And it's not just her. A lot of y'all done said that. Because you see all these black men come out of prison and start a record label, and then, come on, let's talk the real. According to the National Adult Literacy Survey, 70% of all incarcerated adults cannot read at a 4th grade level, meaning they lack reading skills. According to the National Adult Literacy Survey, 70% of all incarcerated adults cannot read at a 4th grade level, meaning they lack the reading skills to navigate many everyday tasks or hold down anything but lower paying jobs. So when I tell you about a high school dropout or tell you about incarceration, you come back to me and make them into superheroes. You have created an inverted reality that doesn't reflect anything in this society because you don't know what the hell you talking about. And you using aberration anomalies, a handful of people who might have did something in writing. You know, you got to mail all your stuff to get a PhD in prison by mail. But you don't have to take my word for it. You can use the Marshall Project. We're here to do that work today. Because Cesar said he learned real estate in prison, right? And the lady said we shouldn't judge him for the prison, right? I'm a judge today. And I'm going to show you how to judge. Damn all that. Thank you so much, Steve. So the Marshall Project covers criminal justice. We're not doing guessing. We're not moving like that. And what the Marshall Project showed is that what are inmates learning in prison? Not much. A new survey of 2,000 federal prisoners reveals big gaps in teaching, crocheting, how to play bridge, or the game show Jeopardy, tips on reviewing movies. Those are the continuing education options one inmate described in a new survey of 2,000 federal inmates that offers an inside look at how U.S. prisons fail to teach useful skills to help ease the path back home. No one ever fails any class. Said another inmate, everyone receives a certificate whether you attend every class, study for hours, or just come in at the beginning, sign in and leave. The certificates really don't mean anything when you do it that way. A report released Thursday by the advocacy group Families Against Mandatory Minimums provided an inside look at educational opportunities within the federal prison system that inmates suffers from a glaring lack of trained instructors and a scarcity of classes. The survey found that nearly all continuing education classes are led by fellow prisoners with little teaching experience. Job skills programs are only available to inmates who are nearing release, and college courses are too expensive for inmates whose income rely on a few dollars they earn from prison jobs. Hold on one second. I want to get to this. Let me let this pass by, because she told us that you can get a PhD in prison. You got a lot of black people. Let me tell you what's happening. You're not an expert on prison because you black. Like, no. Stop acting like you know from watching 50 Cent show. She gonna tell us that people getting PhDs, he learned, and then y'all don't know he learned real estate in prison. Don't mean shit. I mean, he that. Come on, fucking stupid. The man said he learned was just talking to somebody in prison. Y'all done created a whole world where they got a whole UCLA campus like shit I used to look at in prison. They teaching them people how to read, how to write. Y'all sitting up here watching these YouTubes with people that dropped out and might not be literate beyond like 5th grade. So like 5th grade, you can read a book, the outside and all that. So it looked the same, like they have high comprehension skills. You don't know that these did not graduate from high school. It's like, look at how many of them, this is crazy, bro. So let's go back to this, because we're going to get real today out here talking about Thunderbird record label. No business. So let's go back to it. No one ever fails any class, said another inmate. Everyone receives a certificate. So we're doing participation awards. The survey found that nearly all continuing education classes are led by fellow prisoners with little teaching experience. Job skills programs are only available to inmates who are near release, and college courses are too expensive for inmates whose income rely on a few dollars they earn from prison jobs. Very few respondents said they had access to a computer. In one case, a survey respondent said his prison geology class consists of watching episodes of BBC's Planet Earth. Is that really preparing for crime-free life outside in the real world? And they be teaching them how to read and write because of this. 70% read at a 4th grade level. You done created these people who leave prison into like real estate gurus. Then you wonder when they steal your goddamn money. I need you guys to see this. How the criminal records impact real estate licenses in California. Now, I know he was in New Jersey, but certain convictions means you can't get one. And I would think credit card fraud fits in that criteria. They looking for a replacement, possibly for DJ Envy. They got him at the Zoom. He doing the show from home. Looking nervous. Charlemagne playing Pac-Man. Just kidding. They in the dark. Breakfast Club, they done turned the lights out. Y'all in that motherfucker looking like a Teddy Pendergrass concert. They ain't even paying electricity no more. Turn that electricity, y'all. That shit look like, you remember Earthquake Day in school? When movie day? That shit look like movie day in school. Got him doing the show from Zoom. Turn the lights down so we can see DJ Envy Zoom better. You got Hillary Clinton who brought hot sauce in my bag to them, and they let that be on the show. And they got Charlemagne got her in a New York hat and on his shirt. The whole joke. You got people covering it back in 2016, hot sauce in her bag, unseriously covering black politics. But when it's time to cover the Middle East, they serious. This Abby Phillips girl, she can get serious on the Middle East because they told her to be serious about that. But when it was us, we gonna talk about hot sauce in her bag. Doing anything, bro. You should have burnt them alive for in terms of media. You should have buried them for doing this. If you had your bones as a journalist. But you want, that's the fast track. You got to be quiet so that you can talk about the Middle East today. Seriously. This DJ MB stuff is just a start of a lot of celebrity and scammer influencers that have been defrauding folks out of their money. I need you guys to see it because I can't make it no more clear. I wanted to come to you today to kind of talk about this thing, talk about the lack of discernment. I believe that if you look at the victims, it seems like it's a lot of quote unquote black men, because y'all don't have no discernment skills. Y'all in love with Jay-Z to drop out, in love with Chris Rock to drop out, in love with all the dropouts, and don't know that you done gave your money to somebody that learned it, real estate, in prison, and they don't teach it there. I wanted to talk about the backgrounds on these characters. Overall, I just wanted to give you a chance to call in to speak and to really break down the problems with this whole Breakfast Club, and in particular, the problems with DJ Envy and Cesar Pina. This is Tone Talks. Please go to tonetalks.net, subscribe, donate, and share. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in.